What is going on? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley, along with CC, Chris Claybon, and this is Instant Replay. Back again this week, Chris. It looks like we've got some things figured out. Hopefully, now we're early.
Hey, look, different location this time. New Wi-Fi, new phone. I'm back, baby.
Yeah, the technical difficulties this week. I feel like we're better. I feel like we're gonna get better. So. Let's get into this, man. Let's not wait around because, again, if we have technical difficulties, we want to get through everything. So let's
absolutely
figure it out. So, Taylor, Kelsey, Travis Swift. You like how I had that little play on words there.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Are we over it? Is it too much? What are your thoughts on it, man?
Absolutely not. I had a guy, coworker, tell me, he's like, it's the only NFL game I've ever been able to watch with my daughter start to finish because she was only there for Taylor Swift. She's bigger than any NFL star. Only the sports purists are tired of seeing Taylor. It's better for the sport. It's better for everybody else. She's a true superstar.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Better for the sport. So Taylor Swift being shown on television is better for football. Tell me how.
The NFL needs diversity. You see every commercial has got different people. They're trying to appeal to a different audience. They got all of us watching. Who's next? Right?
So they got all of us watching. So the NFL needed viewership. It's
absolutely
on 4 days a week. It needed viewership. So for that viewership, they decided, we're going to have Taylor Swift on so we can up the viewership even more. Is that what you're telling me?
Let's have a true superstar, right? Right, our superstars right now, hot take, that aren't playing very well. There's not a lot of jerseys being sold for Patty Mahomes, but guess what? Kelsey's going crazy because every little girl wants a Kelsey jersey. Smart call. I'm saying smart call.
I would say, and it's not just the football purist, it's just people in general. I just want to watch the football game, and every time Travis Kelce does something, I don't need to see Taylor Swift. For instance, they don't show everybody else's wife every time they make a play on the football field. That's not what happens. And I get it.
You want to see 7 replays on a 3-yard gain? No, I tell you what. Let's pan this.
I would rather see that. I would rather see the replay than see Taylor Swift dancing and hugging Brittany Mahomes or just sitting there. I would rather see that, yes.
The rest of the booth she's in needs to step it up. That is also my opinion. But no, I don't need to see a 3-yard gain. The Lakers got it figured out. The NBA's got it figured out. They'll always pan and find the biggest celebrities, in the stands. It also makes it feel like the place to be. How many people went there to see Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm glad you said that about the Lakers because you're right. And every time the Lakers are on, they have a segment. Let me repeat that. They have a segment where they find the celebrities in the stands. That's it. Not after every layup, not after every jump shot, after every 3-pointer.
She can replace the celebrity segment, the kiss cam, the T-shirt can, and she can replace all those segments because she's that popular. Somebody just said they want to see more Kelsey's brother getting hammered. The viewership for their podcast, crazy. He's, there's so many people that didn't even know who he was until they panned to Taylor Swift's booth. All eyes are good eyes when you're selling stuff. I'm sorry.
And I mean, like I said, the NFL just needed more and more viewership. Apparently, they couldn't get it figured out, didn't know what they were doing, and then all of a sudden they throw Taylor Swift on, and now the ratings, the numbers, they're just out of control. That's kind of what we're seeing. And not to mention, the NFL has the #1 show on every single week, but
right. And I'm sure none of its viewers are getting older and aging out or tired of watching it 4 days a week. But guess what? You're never going to run out. I mean, every #1 selling record of all time has always appealed to teenage girls, right? From the Beatles to Elvis to the Migos, to Tupac said it. If you can sell to teenage girls, now you got to make some money. I see Jackson, our first comment out of Colorado, says I'm glazing. I'm sorry.
That's right,
sorry.
Jackson.
All eyes are good eyes when you're selling something. Get out of here.
It's just, First of all, I don't even know who you are. I don't
Yeah,
even know who you are anymore. I thought I knew you. 25 years down the drain. I have no idea who you are. What this infatuation with Taylor Swift? I just don't
it's
get it.
look, it's not an infatuation with Taylor Swift. It's understand the marketing here, man. I'm tired of the 7 different views of a drop a ball. I'm tired of. We already want to fast forward through commercials. Give me something different to watch. It's another way of speeding the game up, paying the stands. I mean, how much fun did we have watching the snowballs come down? Just something different. Football is only 4 seconds at a time, and then it's 30 seconds to wait on 4 seconds. 30 seconds to wait on 4 seconds. I'm sorry, I'm not rewinding every play.
Okay, so if the Chiefs lose and Taylor Swift's not in the Super Bowl because she won't go, then what?
Right? She will go. I'm calling it right now. Chiefs or no Chiefs, everybody's going to be looking for her. She's now a football fan.
Aha!
Boom. Yep. It'll
There's
be it'll be Travis and Jason and Taylor in a booth.
there is no possible way that that's going to happen. There's no way in hell that Travis Kelce is going to the Super Bowl if they're not in it. And Taylor Swift, and they're going to pan to Taylor Swift. He'll break up with her. He'd dump her before he let that happen.
I mean, she can go without him. I promise you. She's there.
Okay. I don't get it. Like I said, I don't know who
Look at
you
there.
are.
Jackson, who never agrees with me, again, out of Colorado, said 100% she'll go. The NFL may pay her to go.
Is Jackson 21 years old?
I don't think so.
Okay, so his opinion doesn't count. Okay,
Oh,
his personal opinion doesn't count. Nobody's talking about him. He's an absolute idiot.
he's my
Here's
favorite
a good
commenter so
question
far.
from a great woman, a woman with some substance to her. Rebecca
Okay.
Elledge in the comments says, "Is the relationship real or is it a PR stunt?" See, now that's somebody that's asking real questions here, and
I
I'd
got
like
to
an
be
answer
honest.
from you.
I got to be honest. I don't care. Right? All eyes are good eyes. She's trying to sell records and concert tickets, and he's trying to sell jerseys and Mahomes and Maato, I guess State Farm. I don't care. I don't get that. I don't get that into people's personal business. I don't watch soap operas. It's something to look at. I want to see Brittany Mahomes fall out of a booth when Taylor pushes her eventually. I just want entertainment.
Well, that's going to happen because something's
Absolutely.
going to happen. Something like that's going to happen. Now, I would tune into that. Now, I'm right there with you. I would 100% tune into, hey, Mahomes throws a pass, it gets tipped, interception back for a touchdown, and the Chiefs lose. Then pan to Taylor Swift. Then
Okay.
let's see what Taylor
Okay.
Swift's doing in the booth.
Right.
That's what I want to see.
Maybe Travis laterals. It ends up being a fumble. It costs him something. Now you've got that awkward Brittany looking at Taylor, Taylor looking at Brittany. I get that. I
Yeah.
don't
Let's get some real substance
know.
as far as what's going on. I want to
Come on.
see, I
Nah.
want to see some substance on what happens. Don't let me. Let's see some excitement, not just pan to her. When and see them hugging and kissing and dancing. No. Let's see some controversy. Let's see how happy they are, or how homey it is when it's a pick six and Travis misses a pass. That's what I want to
Yeah.
see.
Well, Hasselbring brought it up. He says the NFL wants the Chiefs for the final ratings. I don't know if that's the perfect segue or not, but that's not what the NFL wants. So we'll get into playoffs after we finish this one up, Big B. But
Yeah.
Matt Hasselbring, I'm glad you brought that up. That is not what the NFL wants, my opinion.
They don't want Mahomes
No,
and
no,
they don't
no, no.
want
They
Taylor
they
Swift.
they got a whole other narrative going this year. A whole other narrative. You haven't picked it up, and we'll touch on that in a little bit.
Hmm.
Jackson, I got a Goon Squad T-shirt coming your way, Jackson. Uh, he talking about losing a loyal follower. I guess he threw out all of his Taylor Swift gear, but I got a
Show
shirt
him your
coming for
shirt.
him.
Show him your shirt, Chris.
Yeah,
Show,
yeah.
show Jackson your shirt.
Yeah, yeah. Hurt people, Jackson. I know
There
you're
you go,
lashing out right
Jackson.
now.
Stop
Yeah,
being sensitive. Stop being
yeah. It's
sensitive.
but
Okay. Again, once you
yeah,
get to 21 years old, you'll realize stop being sensitive, my man. Stop it.
yeah,
Stop it.
yeah.
But let's move on, man. Let's move
Absolutely.
on from Taylor Swift because first of all, you contradicted yourself, and I don't want people to understand that you did. I just want to move on from that.
Okay. All right.
And basically, but to get back to it, to make you feel bad about it, you contradicted yourself because you said they don't want that in the playoffs, but they do want it for playoff ratings. I'm
Hey,
interested on how that
Ma-
works together, but
they
hey,
wanted They wanted maximum amount of eyes on it. And I told you how they're going to get eyes on it. She's going to be there. She's going to make it to the conference championship. She's going to be at the Super Bowl. But they have a whole nother narrative going that's going to maximize that viewership and that engagement coming this year.
Unbelievable. I'm
Yeah.
moving on. We're moving
Okay.
on, people.
All
We're
right.
moving on. So speaking of the NFL playoffs, again, Matt Hasselbring brought up a good question. And let's just bring it up on the screen. The NFL
Absolutely.
wants Chiefs in the finals for ratings. Lamar and the Ravens will be hosed. Watch the Ravens penalties stack up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's probably something to that. There's definitely something to that. But I would say, getting off that for a second, I think the Ravens are better than the Chiefs. Number one,
Absolutely.
let's just talk that. I think the Ravens are better than the
Yeah.
Chiefs. The Chiefs got a way to win, but it involves running the football. How are you going to run on the Ravens? How are they going to
Well,
do that?
I mean, Pacheco's going to say you just run hard, and that's going to get you through. I don't know. My God, man, you live to play another season. My God, but no, I think the Ravens are better than the Chiefs, and I think they're better at every position. Forget just the Ravens defense. I mean, Lamar's out playing Patty. Chiefs defense is so sometimey. Ravens are very consistent. I don't think this is going to be close. I don't care how many penalties they throw. I don't think they can skew it that much.
Well, the thing about it is we just saw Buffalo run the ball just right down the Chiefs' throat. And Baltimore runs the ball better than Buffalo does. Absolutely. And they've got a running back that can run the football too. I think it's problems. Now, it's not that the Chiefs can't win. I just think it's
Right?
going to be a problem for them to win. I
Um,
see 5 different ways that the Ravens can win. I see one way that the Chiefs can win.
we got a Pacheco fan in the crowd there. Suzanne's a huge
Oh,
Pacheco fan. But
jeez.
no, I mean, I, I don't know. I mean, let's talk about the biggest thing that I think is affecting the Chiefs: the rapid decline of Kelsey. I don't think he's playing nearly at the level he's played in the past, and I think without that, they don't have anything. We can talk about how the wide receivers keep letting Patty Mahomes down and all that stuff, but his number one target's been letting him down. He's
Well,
not getting open when in the scramble drills and the third options. They're not even really having to heavily bracket him or double him. Travis Kelsey washed? Question mark, as the
Well,
kids
I
would say.
wonder why. Yeah, there it is, Ryan. There it is right there. Too much
What?
Tay. Stop
No,
worrying about getting your
no.
girlfriend to the game and stop getting this celebrity girlfriend and worry more about playing some football. How about you
And
do
you know
that?
what? If it was somebody else, I could see that, but not Taylor Swift. There ain't that much going on. It looks boring. He's well rested. I'm just going to say that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
First of all, I think you're 100% right about Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
I think he's a step slower, or at least a half step slower. Let's just say that. He's a half step slower. Uh-oh. Here we go again. Here we go again, people. I'm getting tired of it. I'll be honest. I'm getting tired of the issues. I'm getting tired of the Rudy Poot iPhone. Anybody that's got iPhone, this is what happens. This is what happens. Get you an Android. Get you an Android, and these kinds of things don't happen. But no,
I'm
yeah.
back.
That-
Just
that-
like
that-
that. Just
Okay.
like that. I'm back. Hey,
Uh,
it's got to be the hotel Wi-Fi. New phone audience, freshly charged batteries. But I am on the road, so I'm sorry about that.
hmm. Anyway, back to it.
Mhm.
I just think Travis Kelsey is a half step slower, and the reason it is what it is, he's older. Not to mention, I don't think any defenses just don't respect Chiefs wide receivers. I know Rasheed Rice is good, and I think he's going to be really good, but
Right.
they don't respect him. They don't respect him like they have in the years past. So they're doubling, they're bracketing Kelsey, and they're saying you can't beat us. Now they can run the ball, but the whole problem is will the Chiefs run it enough? They never run the ball enough to be able to win.
Well, they do run the ball enough, Brian, but when they do it, it's not traditional, right? We wanted to hand
Yes,
the ball to wide receivers in the red zone last week twice. Two fumbles in the
talk.
red zone because guys who haven't touched the ball in weeks are getting they just don't run it traditionally enough when it's time. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy. That's crazy. And then
yeah.
talking about, I mean, here's the thing. Let me ask you this. Do you think that Buffalo lost the game, or do you think the Chiefs won the game? And I think I know your answer, but I'll let you answer first.
Man, I hate to be a hater. But I've been so anti Josh Allen because of all the meat riding, all the glazing out there. He's, all the arm strength. He's bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody else. Great. That's not what a quarterback's about. It's about making
No.
the right read, throwing the ball on time. And he missed some open guys, and it's about winning some ball games. He has a
Yeah.
lot of splash plays, as they say now. He has a lot of stats. They're empty because he loses. And he loses to the same guy, whether he's playing at an all pro level or playing at the worst ball that Mr. Mahomes has been playing in the last
Right.
4 years. He still got beat. Nobody was worried about that field goal. Everybody started saying that field goal was going to be, it was going to tie the game, and Mahomes was going to get the ball back with a minute and a half, and the Bills defense hadn't stopped them all day. They'd stopped themselves. They punted once. They fumbled twice. They punted once. Everybody
Yeah.
forgot that. Now that's not Josh Allen, but back to him, you can't miss the open guys. We shouldn't have been settling
Nope.
for a field goal.
Nope. Here's the thing that drives me insane about Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is a great quarterback. I know you don't, but here's my issue with him. He played good, and everybody always says he kept him in the game. He was great in the game. Okay, but that doesn't give you an excuse not to make the play at the end of the game to lose. That doesn't give
Right.
you that excuse. And if Lamar Jackson comes out and plays the
Oh yeah.
same way that Josh Allen played on Sunday, and and Baltimore loses,
Right.
the narrative will be Lamar Jackson didn't do enough. Lamar Jackson choked. And
Right.
that is not what people are going out of their way to say that Josh Allen, well, he did all he could. He did
Right.
everything. No,
Ha-
no,
have the
no,
same
no.
have the same energy, right?
Yes,
He's either the best game manager or he's a difference maker. We know Lamar's a difference maker. So if Lamar doesn't win the game, we can blame Lamar. But when Josh Allen doesn't win, we look for every excuse. Either he's a difference
yes,
maker, either he's team next. Remember when they couldn't stop talking about him and Burrow and Mahomes? Either he's elite or he's not. Elite players
correct.
find a way to win. He finds a way to lose. And I think it's because he doesn't know how to play the game the correct way. He is, you've heard me say this before, the modern day equivalent of Cam Newton. Bigger, faster, stronger. Great. Ball's not on time. Ball's not a catchable ball. It's not in the right place.
Yeah,
Enjoy your 8 to 9 year career and a bunch of empty stats. You're not going to win. We got to blame who is responsible. It's his team only when they're winning. Get out of here.
right. And we've
Not to
seen it
mention
before.
he's had a top 5 wide receiver and a top, I don't know, 8 tight end his entire career.
Yeah, we've seen this before. I mean, Josh Allen, I mean, he's starting to slide a little bit more, thank goodness, because you keep trying to run through people. Ask Cam Newton how that works.
Yeah.
Cam Newton did it
Yeah.
one too many times and his career was over.
We
I
got
mean, it's not sustainable. That's why running backs don't play 20 years. I go,
yeah,
you
we
can't
got a
just run
couple
through guys like that, man.
we got a couple terrible comments right quick, Big B, if I can handle this. Give Clyde the rock. Like Pacheco's playing, lights out. No, don't give Clyde the ball. And then Lamar greater than Allen from Matt in the comments. Yeah, I don't think that was ever a question. They're not even in the same caliber. So yes, that was one was completely wrong, and one guy stating the obvious here. So the
Yeah,
goon squad's
Lamar.
not the goon squad's not on their toes today.
They're not. They're not. But they're picking
Yeah,
up the pieces. They're getting it figured out. They're getting it
I
figured
know.
out. I just think, yeah, the same type of energy. Everybody's looking for excuses for Josh Allen, and I'm just over
Yeah,
it. Look, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. At some point, you got to go beat Mahomes. Regardless of what you do, sometimes you just got to do more to go win. Period.
yeah,
End of story. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear what your teammates did. Go
yeah.
win the game, and he hadn't been able to win the game. So he
No.
played great, but you weren't able to win. So that's the type of
Well,
energy that everybody else gets. He's got to get it too.
did you play great if you didn't win the game? You played well. You played above mid pack. You are a above average game manager. You are not elite.
Yeah.
Ooh, what
So
do you think the final score is going to be?
final score, and that's a good question. From again, somebody with some substance
Right.
in the chat,
Yep.
somebody that with some knowledge in the chat. There's not a lot of them over there, but somebody with some substance. Final score, 27
I like it.
20, 27 23. I think
Yeah.
27-23. It'll be tough for the Chiefs to get 23, but
Yeah.
27-23, I think Ravens.
I mean, I would never take this spread here. I'm doing 27-17 Ravens.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah,
right. 17 for Patty and Kelsey. That's I'm taking that aggressive take right there.
I got you. I got you. Let's move on to the next game,
Yeah,
49ers and the Lions. I am 100% rooting for the Lions. I am
yeah,
all in on Team Lion. Now, I don't think they're going to win. I
right.
don't think they're going to win, but I am all in on Team Lions just for the simple fact if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I want to see what happens to Detroit because
Yeah,
we've seen cities over the years, Chris, that have gone berserk. We've
yeah.
seen college campuses, we've seen cities, we've seen some stuff go on. We never seen what will happen in a city like Detroit. Now, as
It
long as
is
nobody gets hurt, I don't want any businesses to get
right, right.
damaged. But my goodness, it is
It
going. I might fly to Detroit. I might
well,
fly to Detroit. We may even
you
have to do the show from Detroit
a
and
lot of people
live
are going to have
footage.
to fly to Detroit because for Detroit to go crazy, a lot of people have to fly back. There's not a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Technical difficulties again from CC. Unbelievable people. We'll get it figured out. But yeah, I am in it for Detroit. I want to see what happens. I want to see because I got a feeling it's going to be an insane, crazy party in Detroit if they win. Now, are the 49ers better? 100%. Are the 49ers more than likely going to win the game? Yeah, I think so. But there's some paths, there's some ways that the 49ers can lose. There's some ways that Detroit can win because Detroit's going to be able to move the football. I know everybody thinks that the 49ers defense is just so daunting and you can't move the ball. Well, we just saw the Packers run the football right down the 49ers' throat. We saw it all game long. And I'll tell you right now, the Detroit Lions offensive line is twice the line that the Packers have, and they'll be able to run the football if they choose to. Now, 49ers may stack the line and say, no, you're not going to do it. Well, then they'll be able to throw the ball over their head, and they can do that. I think that Detroit's going to score points, man. I do. I am team Detroit. I want to see them win, but I think it's going to be hard. And the simple fact is the 49ers are going to be able to do whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball. Detroit is not going to put up any resistance to what the 49ers are doing. There's going to be no resistance. So it's going to be difficult for them to do anything. I mean, they're going to be able to run it, they're going to be able to throw it. And Detroit is, like I said, they're not going to be able to stop that. They couldn't stop. They didn't stop Tampa Bay. I mean, Baker Mayfield did exactly what he wanted. One pass got tipped and he threw an interception at the end of the game. But other than that, he carved up Detroit, just carved them right up. And if he can do that, the 49ers absolutely will be able to do that. Even if Debo doesn't play, they're still going to be able to have their way with what Detroit's doing. So we'll find out. Hopefully, CC gets back here in a minute with the internet. But either way, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a real tough game. But I just think that the 49ers are just better. They're just better. Sometimes in football, it just comes down to better. I know there's a lot of momentum. I know there's a lot of stuff. And, if we're going by what the NFL wants, I would think that the NFL would want to see Detroit because I think there's a lot of fans out there that want to see Detroit in the Super Bowl because they've never been before. And I also think there's a lot of fans out there that are like me that want to see what happens if Detroit wins a Super. First of all, what happens if Detroit goes to the Super Bowl? Let's just start there. What's that party like? What happens to the city then? Because we've seen it before. What happens if Detroit wins the game? Do they just set the city on fire? They just throw gasoline in the streets and just set it on fire? Is that what they do? You're gonna see people running through fire, just fireballs everywhere. Because I'm in. Like I said, I don't want anybody hurt. I don't want any businesses burned to the ground. I don't want to see any of that. But I want to see the party because it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be absolutely nuts in Detroit. Because they haven't won anything in forever. They haven't. And so, and the Lions have never won anything. And they've been bad for so long. It's one thing to not win for a long time. It's another thing to just suck. And Detroit has just freaking sucked. They've just been a pathetic football team franchise. It's still poorly run, by the way. They just have good coaches right now. So it's just been bad all the way around. Good question. What's the latest on Debo? I heard there's a 50-50 chance that he's going to play, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they haven't really come out and said, they said he didn't have a broken shoulder, which if they were worried about that, I find it real hard that he's going to play in this game. A week out and you thought his shoulder was broken, which means something is going on in there pretty serious. Pretty serious. So we'll find out the latest on that. But I want to see a good game. I just think there's kind of like the first game we talked about with the Ravens and the Chiefs. I think there's just more ways for the Ravens to win than the Chiefs. Same thing. I think there's more ways for the 49ers to win than Detroit. And it's just for the simple fact that Detroit's defense just isn't up to snuff. It's just not good enough to be able to stop what San Francisco is going to bring at them. I think it'll be an onslaught of a lot, an onslaught of just constant, just running and throwing. I'm not sure there's anything that they're going to be able to do to stop them from moving up and down the field. So let's see here. What questions? And it's mainly y'all making fun of CC again with his internet problems. It's unbelievable. A man that works in AV has internet problems. Just, I'll never be able to. Here's one from a man, Ryan Elledge. I got a 300 band modem I can send CC so he can stay connected. You got AOL dial up. Unbelievable. Mm, mm, mm. I'm trying to figure it out. At some point, he's going to get it figured out. He's trying, people. He's trying. So if San Fran loses, is Purdy on the hot seat? Purdy is not on the hot seat. However, if Purdy, I've been on Purdy's head all year. And if Purdy, he's got to play well for them to win. I don't think he can't play the same way he played last week and the 49ers win. That's not going to happen. If Purdy plays bad and he plays the same way he does against the Packers, they're getting beat. Period, point blank, they are getting beat. So here is a question here. Does the NFL want the ratings that would come from Chiefs Lions? Probably. Now, they would want the ratings that come from Chiefs 49ers more. But who knows? Who knows, man? I think a lot of people want to see the Lions in the Super Bowl. That's what I think. Now, the NFL may not. The NFL may think differently. I just think for the normal football fan, I think the normal football fan wants to see Detroit in the Super Bowl. We haven't seen them in the Super Bowl ever. Literally, never been. So I think the average football fan is going to want to see Detroit in it. However, it's going to be tough for them to get there because I think the 49ers are just that good. I think the 49ers are just that good. So let me get here. We have got Claybon is trying to get back in. He's trying to get back in. So we'll see. He'll be back in here in a minute, people. He'll be back here in a minute. We're just going to keep on going. He'll keep on going. Here's a lady that we know. I want to go to Detroit, says Olivia Hanley. I don't know who she is, but she wants to go to Detroit and join in the party. Now, here's a lady that, well, I'm not going to say, here's a lady that doesn't need to be in Detroit. She doesn't need to go to Detroit because somebody's going to say something to her. She's going to cuss somebody out. I won't be there and it'll be a problem. So no, Olivia Hanley, you don't need to go to Detroit. Okay? You need to stay right where you're at and just watch the celebration in Detroit. CC, you're back.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm getting kicked out of the studio, but I am back. Sorry, sir.
Now, anyway, we covered the NFL play. We covered the second game. For just give us what your thoughts are.
I think that Purdy's got to win. That's the narrative they want is the MVP versus Mr. Irrelevant. That was the one that I said would supersede the Swifties in the Super Bowl. Is this league returning back to everyday players, or do we need a Lamar Jackson to win it? So I think Purdy versus Lamar.
Yeah. So you think that that's what the NFL wants is
Absolutely.
gotcha.
I got you.
I just think a lot of people want to see Detroit in the Super Bowl. That's what I was telling everybody earlier, is that I think the average fan, not the NFL, but the average
Right.
football fan wants to see Detroit go to the Super Bowl because they've never
And
been.
I agree. Like I said, there's nobody left in Detroit to even have a parade. But nothing brings the country out like a little division. Purdy's still driving a brand new Honda Accord after his contract, and Lamar Jackson just got the bag. People want to see that. They want to see superstar versus everyday guy. They want to see Lamar versus Iowa State. That's Come on.
No Taylor
That
Swift?
Nah, she'll be there. I'm telling you, she'll be there.
All right. She'll be there supporting. I get it. For
Yeah,
NFL buddies, our new NFL friend. She's going to show up so
yeah,
they can show her on the screen 6 to 7 times a game, even though nothing's going on. Just
absolutely.
on a normal 1st and 10, 4 yard sweep. What's Taylor Swift doing?
Exactly. Who's
Um,
performing?
I don't remember.
Usher,
Usher.
right?
It's Usher, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
guess they don't have any songs together, so he couldn't bring her out for one
Yeah.
collab right quick and even drive everybody nuts. But no,
I hear you.
it's I got Purdy versus Lamar, and I got Purdy coming out on top. Sorry
I
about that.
got you. Well, let's move on here real quick, my man. So the
Usher.
NCAA transfer portal, man. NCAA transfer portal. Okay,
And
this stuff has got to stop. Some of this stuff has got to stop. It is out of control.
right.
From when they let you get in, when the season's over, before bowl games, they got to stop. The NCAA at some point has to step in, which I think that's what they want to do, is be the saving grace and save the day. But this stuff is absolutely insane.
No, I mean, the days that we played, it was so hard to get a medical red shirt, and I'm glad these
Yes.
kids are getting extra years and getting to play and live out their dream as long as possible. But this is insane when you can leave, and how can you evaluate a coach when he doesn't even know what his roster is going to look like next year? Like, there's got to be some commitment. I mean, the turnover. If they turned over my sales guys, that often, I couldn't count on what I was going to do. So how do you grade the coach on his performance when he doesn't know who he's going to get, what he needs to go get? Just how long can you hold on to him with NIL money or primetime tweets?
Here we go with the prom stuff. It's just
No, I got you.
let the man breathe. Let the man breathe.
Yeah, let the
But the
Goon Squad. What
transfer,
do they? Do they have an over under on Prime winning 6 games? He's raiding the portal, so if the portal works, he's gonna have a winning season, right?
Living Water still got some eligibility left. I
Yeah,
love
yeah. I
that
mean,
he's still got eligibility left. And there goes CC again. Unbelievable. My thing about it, the transfer portal, is the guy that we saw this week from Miami is coming back for his 9th year. Now, look, you can, I understand that kids get hurt. I understand all of that stuff. And I'm sorry that he got hurt. I sympathize with him. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, especially a kid. But this is not a kid anymore, number one. This is a 25-year-old grown man that we're talking about playing against 18 to 20-year-olds. That's not fair. What the hell are we doing? You know, I mean, a 25-year-old, 9th year. Now, excuse me and tell me if I'm wrong, but outside of going and getting a college degree, part of going to college is life experiences, the last time I checked. And sometimes that life experience is not going to be what you want it to be because that's life. Life happens to everybody. And life, the one thing that we all know, life is not fair. So you getting hurt 75 times and not being able to play a full season of football, I'm sorry, but it's just not fair. So, I mean, and you shouldn't get to play 9 years. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Well, I mean, 9 years? What the hell? The guy should have 2 doctorates by now. And I mean, and yet we're allowing him to play football against an 18-year-old. It's absolutely ridiculous. And again, the NCAA, who is full of shit, quite frankly, has no idea what they're doing. Just, well, we'll give him a waiver. We'll do this. We'll let him play. I'm like, whatever happened to you got 5 years to play 4? Whatever happened to that? And if you get hurt, okay, sorry, too bad. Whatever happened to those days? I mean, you might think it's harsh, but it used to be that way. You could blow your knee out every single year. Nobody cared. It didn't matter. That's just the way it worked. At some point we got to get back to make sense stuff. The first part of the transfer portal, stop letting kids transfer, especially in football, right after the regular season is over. That way you're making bowl games irrelevant now. It's already become irrelevant because of the playoff, but it becomes even more irrelevant when 25 to 35% of rosters aren't even available because they're in a transfer portal. So at some point, NCAA, do your job, do something that makes sense. So it's just crazy that we can't get it right. It's just crazy that they just cannot get it right. Good statement here by my man Matt Hasselbring. Kids deserve to get paid for their talents, but something has to change for the betterment of the schools and coaches. That's why Saban left. It's too much work now. Well, I agree with all of that, but the last part, too much work. Everybody that I know works 12 months a year, unless you're a teacher, but they don't really pay teachers for, like they should pay teachers. So teachers are some of the most underpaid people in the world. I mean, just period, point blank. So I agree with all of that. But when your salary is $8 to $9 million a year, you can work 12 months. You can do it. I don't feel sorry for any coach because they have to go out and earn a living of making $8 to $9 million a year, and you're required to work 12 months. I don't feel sorry for you. I just don't. So I get all of that. It has become harder for coaches because they're constantly having to recruit their players, uh, you know, all year round, their current squad, which makes it more difficult. But you know what? We just finished talking about kids and not being fair. So adults, it's not fair. Life ain't fair. Oh, woe is me. You made $9 million and you had to recruit your team again this year. Ooh. Okay. I don't feel sorry. I don't feel anything for them. I don't. Yes, it's harder. I get it, but you're compensated very, very well. And by the way, you didn't just start getting compensated very well for what you're having to do. You were compensated a long time ago for a lot of this stuff. Very well compensated. And you didn't have to work 12 years or 12 months out of the year. Now you do. Whoop-de-doo. Earn the living. It is what it is. That's just my point of view on it. I have no sympathy for that, but they do got to change the transfer portal. It's becoming a joke, and college football is starting to become unwatchable. I think college football is starting to become unwatchable because of the transfer portal. It's just insane. Bowl season used to be one of the most fun times of the year that people would watch bowl season games coming on at 11 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday after Christmas, and we would watch. We were supposed to be working, but we would watch. Or you'd take that lunch, that hour and a half to 2 hour lunch to go watch a bowl game at some sports bar, come back to your workplace buzzed. We all did it. Stop lying. You did it. I did it. Everybody did. You're not doing that now because you don't care enough. I don't care enough. Even if my school's playing, I'm like, I'll watch it on my phone. I'm not going to do this because they don't have, if they're not going to invest enough, then why should I invest enough? You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. I love the transfer portal. I love NIL. I love everything that it can do for you as a student athlete. I believe in it, but they got to fix it. Just like anything, everything can be tuned up, just like a car. You buy a car, you don't just say, okay, here's your car, no maintenance until you buy another one. 100,000 miles, zero maintenance. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. You got to have some maintenance on some stuff. And the transfer portal is another thing. CC, you're back. What's going on, man? We just been burying this transfer portal, just
Yeah,
talking about it. But go ahead.
comments. You're absolutely right. These guys 9 years playing. Jackson had a good one. Like, hey, you got six to play four. There's got to be some consistency of it. There's some people saying how long will it last? Not long like this, right? The
Yeah.
big money schools, they want to see some consistency of performance, right? Can we be honest? The big money schools want to be able to know that they've got the Heisman candidate and he's not going to get suckered away last minute. So you'll see the SEC schools and the traditional Power Fives start to rebel against this shenanigans soon.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. And plus, it's become so money driven. Like
Yeah,
they're going to this playoff, which I think the playoff is great. but they're going to designate 7 of those spots to go to Big Ten and SEC schools every single year. And it shouldn't. It absolutely shouldn't. But because it's money driven, ESPN has
Right.
not kind of, they've
Right.
hijacked the playoff. I mean, they hijacked it now. I mean, there's absolutely no justification for putting in Alabama and Texas in this playoff over Florida State. There is no justification for that. But somehow they did it. Somehow they were able to do it. I don't know how. CC's having some problems today. We may move on the rest of the show without him. Get it figured out. We will get it figured out. Moving on, man. Moving on. Last topic of the day. I want to hear from everybody about this. So, Chappelle claps back at Katt Williams. Dave Chappelle is a supporter of Katt Williams. As we know, Katt Williams came on Club Shay Shay, and basically roasted a lot of comedians. We talked about it a little bit last week. He came out just roasting people. But for me, and for a lot of people, it was a bunch of comedians that he thought that he was funnier than, or that he thought wasn't as talented as he was. Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, to name a few. He basically came out and tried to roast not tried, he did. And Dave Chappelle is now clapping back. The first thing he said was, why are you only attacking black entertainers? You act like there were no, like if he's calling people industry plants, like there were no white industry plants, but he didn't attack any of those guys. That's a question. Why? I have no idea, but that's a question. Second thing is, why do you care? Unless you're jealous, which is what I said last week. It's like you are going on the offense and attacking all of these people that have better opportunities or had more opportunities than you. And if you had that opportunity and you wanted it, why didn't you take it? You're saying, well, they had to do all this. Hey, man, stop. Stop with the nonsense. And stop. First of all, I love the fact, and I love what Marlon Wayans had to say. He only attacked certain people that wore a dress and said that they did favors or the Illuminati to get roles. He only attacked certain people. He didn't attack everybody that did that. And that's why there's an agenda. And I love Katt Williams. I think he's hilarious. I think that he had a big time agenda and what was going on. CC had a lot more to say about this, so I apologize for him not being here. But yeah, I just think Katt Williams, his agenda, and Dave Chappelle just kind of put him in his place. Like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, there's enough meat on this bone for everybody. You've got yours, they got theirs. If you wanted more meat on that bone, you should have went out there and got it. That's kind of what I think. So, and then Suzanne Claiborne, imagine that, Claiborne. Probably a little bit of truth both ways. Jealousy and some industry shenanigans, 1,000%. 1,000%. Of course there were shenanigans that were going on. Of course. And there's definitely a little bit of truth. But there's a lot, to me, I think there's a lot of jealousy. I think there's a lot of jealousy going on. And, him saying that, oh, well, for all the 5 years of movies that Kevin Hart was in, those were on my desk first. Yeah, stop it. Stop. So, and that's another thing, man. I'm not sure what he hoped to gain by dissing on the other guys. What's your point? And then that's what Dave Chappelle's like, what's the end game here? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by dissing these people? To tell people, oh, well, they're industry plants. They're not really as talented. Okay, but you know what? The people that are going to watch them either on TV, watching their shows, watching their movies, they don't care what you think. They don't care. And another thing that Dave Chappelle said is, why are you trying to ruin his money, somebody else's money? So is your end game to get people not to go to their shows? Is your end game to get people not to watch? Is that what you are trying to accomplish? Because if that's what you're trying to accomplish, then you are an absolute bitch. Not only in my mind, Dave Chappelle basically said it. Why are you counting somebody else's money? That would be first off. But secondly, why are you getting in the way of somebody else's money? That's what I want to know. That's where problems start to come in. That's where fighting words start to come in, is when you get in the way of somebody else's money. So I appreciate everybody showing up, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I promise you, we will get the internet stuff figured out. I promise you it will get figured out. Chris is on the road. He was on the road tonight, so he's dealing with hotel Wi-Fi. He got a new phone. Things will be better next time. So I promise, keep tuning in. Tell a friend. Instant Replay is here to stay, man. Instant Replay is here to stay. We will be back next Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Keep tuning in. We'll keep pushing these things out for you. I appreciate everybody, man. Aloha.